Hello everyone, I am Ashish and you are watching me on Medico Acme India. So guys, as you all know, we are running through the Animal Diversity Lecture Series and this is 28th lecture of the Animal Diversity Lecture Series. And so guys, I thought today कि I am just taking video on the slide mode because there is a lot of information to give you in the parasitic adaptations. As you can see, the title of the topic is parasitic adaptation. So adaptations in parasitic is basically the thing that you have to remember, not any hardcore concept, because the parasites itself has a kind of diversity in the context of, you can say, structural diversity and physiological diversity, anatomical diversity. Every diversity you are going to find in the individual organism, that is the parasite. And the parasite is not the single animal, it is a group of animal from unicellular to multicellular organisms. So in the mammals even you are going to find the parasites, but here I am talking about the parasites basically which are living inside the body, that is the endoparasites. So guys, as I have discussed yesterday, that the parasites can be like helminths or can be like unicellular organisms like protozoans. So helminths are what? Helminths are worms. Worms are basically elongated animals which do not have any kind of appendages. So guys, parasites unicellular and parasites multicellular, that is the worm, both have a kind of dialogue or kind of a pattern that they adapt to cope up with the situation which is going to make them kind of worsen their condition, or that is going to hamper their survival in the inside environment, that is in the environment in which they are residing. So guys, the only thing why they are doing adaptation, so that they can reproduce, so that they can survive. So guys, for survival they are doing adaptation. Suppose a worm or a kind of any parasite which is residing in the intestine, what happens there? You have a kind of chemical substances like HCl or bile, everything. So they are going to damage their condition, their health, and so they are doing the adaptations so that to cope up with the situation or the harsh condition in which they are residing. So everything is about the parasitic adaptation today, so stay tuned. So guys, as you all know, this lecture is very important for ICMR, JRF, DBT, JRF, CSIR, JRF, GATE, MSc entrances, assistant professor, and very much important for UPSC, CSE aspirants, in which they are asked about to write a note on the parasitic adaptation, so that this will help those students also who are appearing in the upcoming CSE exam and their optional as zoology. So guys, I am Ashish and this is my channel Medico Acme India, and I am PhD scholar in NEET Delhi, and these are my qualifications. So let's go ahead. Parasites basically are animals or plants that survive on means ectoparasites, and or in means endoparasites. So they can be endoparasite or ectoparasite. If they are surviving on the plant or on the animal, they are ectoparasites. If they are surviving in the plant or in the animal, then they are endoparasites, so that they can complete their life cycle there. So what is necessary? They need some help from the individual plant or individual animal to complete their life cycle. So they are the parasites. Parasites can be helminths, as I have said yesterday, that they can be worms, or that can be protozoans or unicellular organisms, that can be fungi, bacteria, and many other things. And flukes are basically endoparasites. They are residing in the internal environment of the vertebrate, so they are called flukes. Fluke is a term for the endoparasite that is residing in the vertebrate, okay, or basically mammals, you can say. So guys, these pictures actually has a list of kind of parasites. So you can see that in the left side there is a parasite. You can see there is a segmented body. So this is actually a nematode, okay. So you can see these diversity in the organism, that can be insect also, that can be unicellular organism like kind of sporozoa, trypanosoma gambiense you can think of, and they can be ascaris, blood fluke, liver fluke, lung fluke, any kind of parasites can be there. Sometimes what happens, kind of mosquitoes, African mosquitoes are also known as parasites, okay, but they are ectoparasites. My discussion basically is on the endoparasites or the flukes, okay. So let's continue guys. So first of all, I would like to cover two organisms from the animal, that is the class, that is Turbellaria and the Trematoda. From Turbellaria I am covering Planaria, and from the Trematoda I am covering Schistosoma, that is the blood fluke. So Planaria, as you all know, is free living organism that is residing in the kind of fresh water. You are easily going to find these organisms. So the picture shows the different species of the Planaria. There are two different species, and one is transparent yellowish color and the second one is dark. So guys, Planaria can be of different forms. Even you can think of that Platyhelminthes as 13,000 species of animals covering in the different classes. So class Turbellaria and family Planaridae. Planaridae is itself a planarian kind of family in which all the planarian species genus are compiled up. So guys, widely distributed free living flatworms these are, and the most common thing here is the regeneration. So regeneration is well marked in the Planaria, as you all know, and there is a ladder type nervous system, as I was discussing yesterday, that they have the ladder kind of nervous system. So let's go ahead and cover the things one by one. So guys, what happens, see, this is the typical kind of planarian. So you can see that there is a dorsal surface, there is a kind of ventral nerve cord is found there, as I have said yesterday, and there is anterior position and the posterior position. You can see the eye pot, that is not actually the eye but the eye pot. There you will find some of the kind of the color perception receptors or the vision receptors. And the most important thing here is the nervous system. Nervous system, as I've told you yesterday, that is a kind of ladder system. So you can think of this kind of thing. So these two lines that is making the curve is a kind of nerve cord. They are actually the nerve cord, longitudinal nerve cords. And you can think of the cerebral ganglia at the anterior portion. There you can find two cerebral ganglia. Okay, ganglia is actually the plural form and ganglion is the singular form. So two ganglia you can find at the anterior position, from which the longitudinal nerve cord is running through, and the two nerve cords are connecting by the transverse commissures. You can see here. Okay, so these are the transverse commissures, and the peripheral plexus are also found. Plexus, what? Plexus is a kind of neuron mass in the peripheral nervous system. If it is central nervous system, then it is called ganglia. So guys, plexus are also found, and you can see many plexuses here from the longitudinal nerve cord. Okay guys, so this was all about the Planaria, and let's cover Schistosoma. Schistosoma actually causes schistosomiasis, that is the blood fluke disease. So it is caused by Schistostoma or Schistosoma. They both are mentioned in different books. So there is nothing like a peculiar thing that you can pronounce it Schistosoma or Schistostoma. They both are the same thing. Okay. So guys, it is actually digenetic host. Digenetic host means there are two hosts which are actually found in the schistosomiasis life cycle. Primary host is man, and basically they are invading the blood. Okay. Secondary host is the snail. Snail can be Limnia or Planorbis. These are genuses of the snails. Please remember it, because these are asked in the ICMR JRF exams and CSIR JRF exams in the matching type questions. So guys, you can see here that the diagram has the Schistosoma. You can think of the organism. There is a bigger organism and there is a smaller organism that is passing through. See this one. So guys, there are two organisms, they are residing in each other. So you can think of how they are dedicated, how they are loyal, that they are residing in the same thing. You can learn of this. The boy and the girl, that is the bigger one is the male, and the smaller one, this one is the female. So male and the female have a kind of delicate interaction here. Actually the female is residing in the gynecophoric canal of the male. So think guys, how loyal the male and female are here and how they love each other. So guys, now Redia and Metacercaria larva is absent in the life cycle of the Schistostoma. So you will learn what are these actually larvae. There are different forms of larvae: Metacercaria larva, Cercaria larva, Redia larva, Miracidium larva. These all are the forms of larva. They are actually developing. They are actually the sequential stages of the larva, you can say. So guys, let's move ahead. And transmission by fecal matter, so contaminated food can be very hazardous for the schistosomiasis. Schistostoma actually has the, you can think that they have the oral sucker. Oral sucker is for sucking the blood. Okay, ventral sucker is there. Female worm you can think of in the gynecophoric canal of the male worm, and everything here is shown in the diagram. Sometimes what happens, they ask in the subjective type of questions to draw the diagram and to discuss the life cycle. So let's discuss the life cycle. For life cycle, come at the bottom, this is the one. Okay, so guys, you can think that eggs pass from the host from the fecal matter or urine. From fecal matter the eggs are coming out. Then what happens, eggs hatch in the water or the contaminated food which you have, and what they do, they just form the miracidium larva or miracidia. Then miracidium larva penetrate snail. So it is important to notice that miracidium larva actually penetrate the snail, limnia or planorbis. So guys, they form the sporocyst. Now what happens in the snail, they form the sporocyst, and these sporocysts are converted into Cercaria larva, and Cercaria larva again by the eating or drinking the contaminated food, they go into the human. So in human they are going to form the schistosomula. Schistosomula is the infective stage of the schistostoma, which is going to infect the human. So here note that miracidium larva is the infective stage of the snail, and schistosomula is the infective stage of the man. So guys, definite host and intermediate host. Definite host is man, intermediate host is snail. So please remember these two larvae which are going to invade the snail and the man respectively. So guys, what happens now, paired adult forms are formed in the blood, and there they are going to do the pathogenesis. So this is called the blood fluke. Schistosoma is known as blood fluke, as you all know, because they lay egg and they actually from the liver come to the blood, and there they used to infect and cause the symptom. So main thing is that the symptom where they are originating, the name given is on the basis of that only. Okay, suppose in the blood if they are manifesting symptoms, so the animal name will be on the basis of the area itself. So guys, what is adaptations? Now just cover adaptations. Adaptation is very important topic, as you all know. Adaptation is adjustment to the environment or the habitat to survive or reproduce. So suppose any animal, what happens, earlier there was not a kind of mutual relationship. Adaptation is what? A parasitic condition is what? It is a relationship between the two organisms to interfere in the life cycle, interfere or mutually benefit sometimes also the other animal. Sometimes what happens in the parasitic condition, every thing is around the detrimental condition of the host and the beneficial condition of the parasite. So parasite get the benefit and they detriment or they hamper the host. So what happens here you can see that the free living to parasitic life. So first what happened, the animals were free living, but accidentally they encountered some organism and they resided and they found that this is the best place to live. So they started living there and causes the parasitic life. So parasitic life originated from an accident by the interaction of the two organisms. So it is a fitness exam of an animal to adopt in the environment of the host. So suppose if you are going anywhere, suppose if you are going Uttarakhand, then what happens? In the snowfall you have to maintain yourself. You have to wear a jacket, wear something, and you have to carry something hot food. So these food items are the adaptations from coping up from the winter or the cold. So this thing same happens there in the environment, in the internal environment of the host. They have the fitness, they have to appear in the fitness exam, and then they have to have a continuous dialogue for self-adjustment and equilibrium. So what happens with what is this counter dialogue? Counter dialogue means that if suppose if you have suppose wear the hot jacket in the Uttarakhand, then what happens? Suppose climate get more worsen. So this is the thing, that is the dialogue. If suppose parasites are getting adaptation, or parasites gets changes in the internal configuration or the external morphological thing, then what happens? Your body will also adjust or cope up with the parasite. So coping up of the host and changes in the parasite, these both are a continuous dialogue to maintain the equilibrium, so that कि ज़्यादा हमें क्या हो, नुकसान भी नहीं हो, and we will get the benefit also. ज़्यादा हमें नुकसान नहीं हो in the sense कि the main thing is कि we do not die and they survive. So this is a collaboration between the host and parasite actually. So this is a kind of evolution in the Lamarckism. So guys, what Lamarckism say? Lamarckism spelling is wrong, C missing. Okay, so Lamarckism says that if you are not using anything, then that will disappear. Suppose if you will find the I have taken this example in the previous class, that if suppose there is a energy ATP formation from the sun and the water, okay, from the water and the sunlight, if you are getting the ATP, no need of stomach, then stomach will disappear and that will be eradicated out from the body. So this thing again happens there also. Suppose if the parasite have the like kind of using the machinery of the animal, and they are getting the blood of the animal like host also, so then what happens? The stomach or the alimentary canal of the parasite will be of no use, then they are disappeared. Okay, so this is the thing. So morphological and physiological changes both can be marked in the parasites. So we will discuss these both the aspects, like morphological aspect and physiological aspects, in the subsequent slides, by formation or degeneration of certain features. So what they will do sometimes, what they do actually, suppose if there is a thing which is not of their use, they will disappear that. And suppose if there is a need of anything that can help them to survive in the environment, then they will gain the characteristic or gain the organ that is like required in the environment. So there is a formation or degeneration. So both things happen, not only the formation kind of thing or degeneration kind of thing. So formation here is called the neoformation. Neoformation is actually the formation of any organ. So guys, first I am going to discuss about the morphological adaptations or structural or anatomical changes in the parasites. So guys, degeneration of the structures is very much seen in the organisms, and it is in the morphological basis, because they are partially or sometimes wholly lost from the parasites. Suppose, and the first example is the locomotory organs. For food, mate and escape. For food, they are getting abundant food, बैठे बैठे उनको खाना मिल रहा है in your stomach, so in your intestine. So what they will do, they have the like kind of sufficient food, so they have not any kind of movement required there to capture the food, so they are like kind of less active. Mate, they are abundant female and male roaming around the like kind of colony, so there is no need to go. Why locomotion is required? Locomotion is required for three things: food, mate and escape from the enemy. Okay, so guys, these all three things are best suited there. There is no enemy there. What they do, they have just to do the adaptations from the host condition, host environment. So there is no enemy and mate are sufficient, food is sufficient, so there is no locomotory organs like cilia or appendages in the Helminths condition. So guys, second is a sensory organ not required. Why? Because no need to sense, everything they are getting there. So it's reduced or absent in the cestodes. In Cestoda, as I have discussed yesterday about the Cestoda is the third family of the Platyhelminthes, there is absence of any sensory organ. Everything you have found there, but there was no sensory organ. Alimentary canal absent because there is abundant food and they are getting from the like kind of the host machinery. Cardiovascular pulmonary organs, not any kind of cardio, or you can say heart, veins and lungs, they all are absent because they are just doing the diffusion thing and getting all the nourishments. Okay, so guys, skeleton will be absent from the organism. Why? Because they have to be flexible, they have to be less susceptible, more resistant in the environment of the host. So there is no need of skeleton, so that they can move anywhere. Suppose organs have the peristaltic movement, so that peristaltic movement will, what they will do, they will rupture the bone. If they have the bone, suppose, then the bone gets ruptured in the peristaltic movement. So there should be flexibility, so that they can appear or they can take the structure of the organs in which they are residing. So there is no need of a skeleton there. Body plan, so flat or circular. Why flat? Flat to increase the surface area, and circular to have more resistance, so that they can pass through. Suppose if in the lung there is a lung fluke, or in the liver there is a liver fluke, what they will do, they will just do the thing that they will pass through the membrane, or the pleural membrane you can say, and that is only achieved when they are circular or they are flat. Suppose if there is a brick-like condition, then what happens? Then there is a very difficulty in finding out the route for the invasion. Okay guys, so musculature will be well developed. This is about the new formation. You can see that this is the like achieving the new organs here. So well developed musculature will be there, so that to achieve the flexibility. Example is a tapeworm. Okay, why musculature will be well developed? For the locomotion and flexibility, so that they can achieve the good shape to understand the environment and to make more benefit from the host. Okay, so guys, protective covering, it is the main important thing. Tegumen or cuticle is the same thing, that they both are the like hard tough covering over the organism. Or pellicle in case of unicellular organism like Trypanosoma, or a kind of Plasmodium, you will see the pellicle. So these pellicle and these are the tough coating over the body, so that they can be less like kind of affected with the environment which is inside the body of the host. So at the same time, protective covering should be semi-permeable also. Why? Because the nourishment they are getting, they are also are the important part of their life cycle. Suppose if they will not get the nourishment, then what happens? They will die. So nourishment should go inside the body. At the same time, the acids and the bile which they are going to affect the organism should be taken away from the body. So for this they have the different coatings also. Just wait and we will discuss this later. So guys, cuticular modifications. Sometimes what happens, cuticular modifications are also seen in the organism, like kind of spines in the fasciola, thorns and scales in other cestodes. Okay, so guys, these are very important thing that should be mentioned. If you will write this in exam, they will give you the full mark. This is my guarantee that in the like kind of in the way I am just teaching you, if you are going to write, you will get the full mark, outstanding marks, I can say. Okay, so guys, what happens, adhesive organs, these are very important because they are just getting the fluid or getting the blood, or you can say nourishment from the environment. They have to make some effort, and that effort can be done with the adhesive organs. Adhesive organs are actually what? They are the holding organs from which they can suck the nourishment. Okay, suck the nutrients, suck the blood or anything. So acetabula can be seen in the schistostoma. They are the oral suckers basically. It is the main important. Please remember these names because these are very important for your exam point of view. Rostellum is seen in the tilia solium, and it is the arrangement of hooks so that they can hold and they can suck the blood or anything. Bothria again is a pit-like structure for the sucking kind of thing of the blood or anything. So guys, penetration or histolytic glands. What are these glands? These glands are actually cone-shaped apical papilla. Apical papilla are the like kind of foot-like structure in the metacidium larva of the fasciola, where they are going to do the lysis kind of thing. Why? Because you have different enzymes. They are going to damage their body, the body of the parasite. So for the neutralization of that enzyme, they should have to do some things. They should have the gland so that to nullify the effect of your enzyme actually. Okay, so metacidium larva of the fasciola has the apical papilla. It is the penetrating organ so that to dissolve the tissues from which they are going to enter your body. So they have the kind of penetration, and the histolytic, the dissolving enzyme wala gland. Okay, so dissolving enzyme can be secreted from the histolytic gland, and penetration gland are the same kind of thing for the like dissolution of the tissues from which they are going to enter in your body. So the left side of the diagram, here you can see different structures for the adhesion. These are adhesive organs. Rostellum, you can see like rows of hooks. Okay, 2 rows of hooks are here. Scolex is basically the head. Suckers are the same thing, and it is a kind of circular pit from which they are going to get the blood sucked out. Okay, so large hooks are also found, small hooks are also found, teeth are also found, sometimes spines, thorns are also found in the organ. This is the figure. This is the organism, from the organism Taenia solium. Okay, so pig tapeworm. Okay, so this is the front view and top view, as you can see. Then the Fasciola miracidium larva. Here you can see the apical papilla, which I was saying here. Apical papilla. Apical papilla is the cup-like structure, pit-like structure. You can see here at the upper end. The apical gland are also there. Okay, so these are all the penetration gland or histolytic gland. Cilia is all over the body for the movement in the miracidium larva. Miracidium larva is very important, very important. This is the main. Sometimes what happens, they ask to draw the structure of this larva also. So please take screenshot of this larva and please label it properly. You can see the eye spot there, excretory pore there, penetration gland are there, and epidermal plates. These are the epidermal plates. These are actually scales kind of thing. Okay, so miracidium larva has the scale. Muscles, very important, so that to give the flexibility. Okay, germ balls are here, and subepithelium is also. Subepithelium is basically, if you have the epidermis and dermis, so this is the same thing with the epithelia and the subepithelia. Okay, so let's go ahead guys and discuss some physiological aspects of the organism. Cystogenic glands. Cystogenic glands are basically the gland which secrete the cyst. It is the cyst formation thing. Okay, why cyst? To escape from the environment and to be safe in the cyst. Okay, so guys, about the physiological adaptation or functional changes, first is the reproduction. So for surviving in the body, they should have the large number of gonads so that they can give the large number of egg production. So you can see that 90% of Taenia gravid. What is gravid? Gravid I will be showing later. 90% of the gravid or the mature, you can say proglottid, is covered by the sexual gonads. Okay, so gonads, say they are covering the 90% of the whole proglottid area. You can think of hermaphroditism. It is very important to have the same like kind of male and female gonad in the same organism, so that it is the ease of formation of the offsprings. So large number of egg production, you can see in the Ascaris, it is 2 lakhs per day. Think how large number of, how huge reproduction they are doing. Multiplicity, again proglottid of the Taenia is the best example to have the multiplicity. What happens there? There each proglottid act as a like kind of reproduction. You can think of that proglottid is a reproductive machine. Why? Because each proglottid will give rise to the like kind of thousands of Taenia solium larva. Okay, so multiplicity and independence nature of the Taenia proglottid. Independence, why? Because each proglottid, suppose hundreds of proglottids are there, and hundreds of proglottids are independently producing the offsprings. So this is the thing. Asexual reproduction is an alternative for the reproductive system, so that to increase the number of offsprings. Okay, so indirect development, so that the larva, because what happens, the offsprings are more prone to risks. So larva is the first successful kind of individual from any parasite, any individual. So larva is an intermediate thing. So much more larva, much more offsprings. So complex life cycle polygenetic hosts. To achieve the like kind of innate population, they have to achieve a very delicate kind of host. Suppose if they will find a certain host there, suppose all the nutrients are abundant, they will take up the machinery of that host. So polygenetic means multiple hosts are there in the life cycle of the parasites, so that to achieve the adaptation. Okay, protection from the mucus or lime cells that will secrete the lime or mucus, so that to nullify the effect of anti-enzymatic action of the host enzyme. So guys, first it was discovered in Green in 1957, antitrypsin action in the ascaris. Please write down, if in the subjective exam you will write these things, they will give them like bonus marks. Okay, so guys, osmotic balance mechanism, because what happens, they are in the like kind of aquatic environment in the body. So what happens, they have to maintain the balance or maintain the osmosis, reverse osmosis process in the environment, because they are just what they are actually the free organism, suppose free like swimming organism in the intestinal fluid. So they have to maintain the osmotic balance so that the body cannot rupture. Okay, nervous system very simple or absent sometimes. Circulation, respiration can absorb from the surface, so no requirement of the circulation or respiration. So periodic appearance is the adaptation. Example, Wuchereria, Bancrofti, what they are actually, they are filaria worm or the filariasis or elephantiasis disease they are causing. So they actually, what they do, they in the midnight, like kind of 10 to 4 in the night, they just go in the blood, and that is the peak time for the Culex bite. Culex is a mosquito, so mosquito bite ke liye it is the best time, 10 to 4. So what they do, Wuchereria just go in the blood, from there the Culex bite and spread the infection to others. So see how clever they are. This is very important to know how clever they are actually. So guys, neoteny, larval reproduction, what actually happens, sometimes most of the times you will see that adults are reproducing, but while the larvae are also reproducing sometimes. So this is, nature is called the neoteny, important word, please remember. So neoteny can be an adaptation also. Infective stage, carrier or vector, sometimes what they do the ease of spreadness of their population. For this they require the air, water, fecal matter, anything they can use for the infection. Okay, host hormone uses, sometimes they uses the hormone of the host. Best example is the polystoma, that is actually causing the urinary bladder infection in the frog. What they do, they uses the same hormone of the frog for the egg production that they are used by the frog. So same hormone by the frog and polystoma causes the egg production. See how clever they are actually. So in the diagram you can see the proglottid, which I was saying. Okay, you can see the testis and fertilized egg. 90% of the area is covered with all the reproductive things. So guys, most important thing in the physiology is not the like kind of respiration, not the kind of circulation. The main important thing is reproduction. Okay, why? Because to achieve the innate population, or to just in what is innate population? Innate population is the like kind of threshold population. Okay, maximum birth that can be given by the individual to achieve the equilibrium. Okay, so that is the innate population. So guys, you can think that reproduction is very important for the generation progression. Okay, so guys, you can see here that polystoma, which is actually infecting the urinary bladder of the frog. They are actually using the frog hormone for egg production. Okay, you can see the patient of the filaria. What happens in the daytime, the worms are in the leg or the gonad or the groin region, and in the night they just go in the blood. Okay, so muscles say they are going in the blood. So guys, I think this was all about the lecture. I hope you have enjoyed the video, because it was very interesting topic. So if you want to interact with me on the social media platform, you can find a list of social media handles. And thank you so much guys, thank you so much for your love that you are giving. Please like, share and subscribe my channel, most important thing. And thank you guys, thank you so much.